Vinyl community, Ringo Starr fans, random people on the internet, my name is Giggens, and we are here today to talk about Ringo Starr's Ringo the Fourth. What the hell's going on? What is... Anyways, beyond this interesting album cover, we really have a decent album packed inside this wrapping paper that may have been left inside the closet somewhere for another couple of years. This album came out in 1977 on Atlantic Records, and at this point, Ringo was trying to do anything he could to keep up with the times, keep the hits coming, keep people interested. This was the first album in a while where he didn't use any of his circle of friends as he had done with the other albums. He either had the other Beatles on them, or a lot of his real close buddies would show up and they'd write songs and play together, and a lot of that made for really successful albums, like the Ringo album or even Goodnight Vienna were really successful albums that had some awesome tracks on them. But I think he got to a point where that formula wasn't working anymore, especially with the previous album before this, Ringo's Rotogravure, one of those albums none of us know how to pronounce. Hey. And he got to the point where he was like, you know, let's try something different. And at this point, he was running a lot with Vinny Poncia and collaborating with him and really going for something a little more mature, a little more grown up, following some sort of coherentness throughout. And he came up with this, and this is actually a promo copy from Atlantic Records from '77. And this album really is decent. You would never think that with this god-awful cover, but I just... What the hell were they thinking? What the hell, man? Like, I mean, you're on the cover of Sgt. Pepper. Anyways, let's just do it track by track here, because I really feel this album deserves a chance to be heard, and I feel like it needs to be heard. Maybe not seen, but definitely heard. I feel like I'm gonna get ripped apart for ripping apart this album cover, but good lord, man, and the lighting is terrible. It looks like it was like in someone's basement with a dangling light bulb in the back with a really crappy, like, old school camera popping lens. Like, ugh. Anyways, Drowning in a Sea of Love opens this album, and I really enjoy this. It's like a really solid pop track. One of my favorite things about this album as a whole that you get right off the bat with this song is Ringo's voice. And Ringo's voice, I don't know if he was drunk or something, but he had a really loose, raw vibe on his vocal approach with this one. Whereas with his other albums, you think of like maybe something like Goodnight Vienna, the song Goodnight Vienna. This album is like an extension of that vocally, where it's got that real loose rock and roll thing going on. Definitely not a moment like Only You or something. But I kind of like when his voice cracks like that. It makes it sound a little more real. It makes it sound not as fake or forced. And it sounds like he's trying to create something with a statement and with some heart and soul in it. And not just coming in, reading lyrics and going up to the microphone and hoping to make an album and make some money off it. Like, this actually sounds like someone really wanted to try to make a statement on their own. I love the end of this song because Ringo just starts screaming his ass off, and there's a really long coda after that of just the dance. And that happens often on this album, where there's moments where Ringo is kind of playing second fiddle to the music itself, where the music itself just takes off and goes on, you know, these extended excursions, and then Ringo pops up once in a while in the background again. And that was, I think, a conscious decision to make like a disco type album at the time, you know, trying to fit in with what was going on, which I think is a smart move for Ringo. He's got a voice that can do a lot, you know, whether it's country or rock. He can kind of move and blend and shapeshift, and I think that's definitely one of his strong suits for sure. Tango All Night, this song is okay. You know, it's a song about, you know, that feeling you get when that dance bug bites you and you just want to get up on the dance floor and tango all night. So that's that song. Wings is the next track, and was actually the first single from this album. And then he did it again in 2012 for the Ringo 2012 album. He re-recorded it. Wings is an amazing song. It's got this really crunchy guitar, a very tight, solid drum beat, and some of Ringo's most confident vocals ever. I think it's one of his best songs. The way he sings, "Lie It," like he really gets into it. It's great to hear him so convincing and assured at a time where he probably wasn't feeling that way. Like he had his divorce. He went through his divorce with his first wife, and then he was going out with Nancy, and then around this time, or a couple years later, he would meet Barbara. So like things in the '70s were kind of up and down for Ringo, but his vocals shine so much on this song, and there's a really cool build up to the solo. I just love this track. I think it's got a great vibe. It's moody. It's got a groove. Excellent track. Excellent track. Gave It All Up is it's a slower ballad, and I kind of like this song. It's about growing up and thinking about stuff you did as a kid, hanging out with your childhood buddies, goofing around, and then realizing you gotta grow up at some point. But the way he sings, "Gave it all up for you," there's, again, that rawness to his voice makes it sound believable, and you're like, yeah, all right, he gave it up, man. I get it. The ending is really cool on this, and again, his rougher vocals kind of make it, and it's got more of that extended music stuff happening. Out in the Streets, jumping quickly to the end of that song, of Out in the Streets, there's an inner groove on this thing. If you have a manual turntable, this will just keep playing over and over again, this like phone ringing inner groove, which is pretty cool. It's a decent up rocker kind of song, upbeat rocker. It's got this interesting bit at the end where Ringo's like, spoiling for a fight. It's like trying to, talk up some dude, trying to like, egg him on and beat him up or something, which is weird. It's weird. Side 2, we open with "Can't You Do It Like She Dances." I really like that song. Great pop song. I really feel like that could have been a big single. It's got the cool build up to the chorus with that woo moment, and that's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. His vocal on this song, it does kind of sound like he was drunk or something. Like I know I've said that a couple of times, but I mean, it was the '70s and he was drinking a lot, but his voice is so loose on this song, more loose than probably anything else on this album. Or maybe he's just having a good time. Can't fault the guy if you're having a good time. Do what you want, man. Live your life. Gotta live your life, man. Sneaking Sally Through the Alley, it's the cover of the Robert Palmer song, and it's not bad. Robert Palmer's version is awesome. That whole first album that he did is actually really, really good. Ringo's version's basically the same song. There's a lot of extended musical moments going on with this song where, again, Ringo kind of, fades out into the background and the music takes over. But not bad, not bad. It's No Secret is a really nice song. It's got acoustic guitar. It's got cool spacey cat sounds. That's the best way I can describe it. Really chill vocal, kind of a sing-songy, reflective, melancholy. I'm almost getting like an Abbey Road vibe. Like this song may have been it could have sounded like a B-side from that era if Ringo was writing more songs back then. Not bad, not bad. Gypsies in Flight has a lot of steel guitar going on, and it's almost Ringo country, which I sometimes wish he would do another country album because his voice is so perfect for that genre. It's kind of like diet country. It's like country light. Really smooth vocal, but a little sleepy, but pleasant nonetheless. Not too bad. Simple Love Song is the last song on the album, and it's I was getting like a Don't Go Breaking My Heart vibe, like the Elton John song. Really sunny, upbeat, quirky guitar fills. I feel like it could have been a single, or it could have been like in a cheesy rom-com. It's got that kind of vibe, like a trailer for like some Hugh Grant movie. And there's a key change. So a little note from the Ray Davies songbook there. Here's the back cover. Hey Ringo, put my friend on your shoulders. Let's take a picture. All right, that sounds like a great idea. Hey, let's use it for your album cover. It's like your big dancey comeback album. Yeah, all right. What the hell? It's the '70s. That classic Atlantic logo. Love that look, man. Awesome label. And here's the inner sleeve. And I really like this picture a lot on the back. They look like they're having a good time. That would have made for a good cover. Bloody hell. So, I was really pleasantly surprised with this album. You know, it's one of those things, right? It's been a while since I've heard it, and I was really enjoying it. You know, Drowning in a Sea of Love, Can She Do It Like She Dances, Wings, Simple Love Song, Gave It All Up. Like, there's some great songs on here, and it's one of those things where I wish Ringo would make a decent greatest hits album, like a really good 2 CD set, and throw on 3 or 4 songs from this album on there, because it deserves some attention. If you're a fan of Ringo, you'll probably really like it. If you like his current stuff, or maybe like Liverpool 8, where there's some nice strong songs on that album, I get the kind of same vibe off of something like this. So give it a shot. You know, give it a listen. Tell me what you think. What do you think of this album cover? I really want to know more about this album cover. Like, where did the sword come from? Where did this, like, vampire-like stare that Ringo gives off, like, where did that come from? Like, why wasn't he happy? Why isn't he smiling? Like, he's giving somebody a piggyback ride. Like, that's kind of fun. So, like, the hell, man? I'd probably give it, like, a 6 or a 7 out of 10. It's really not bad. I mean, it's probably not my favorite Ringo album, but in terms of other albums he's put out, you know, around this time, like you get to Bad Boy or Old Wave. Actually, Old Wave's pretty good. Not terrible. Pretty good Ringo stuff. So, I think that's probably all I got to say about that. Unfortunately, it didn't sell the way they wanted it to. Then he put out Bad Boy after that, and then he got dropped. Actually, the Portrait record label picked up Bad Boy, I think. So yeah, I think this was his last one for Atlantic. So it's unfortunate. Like you can't imagine like a record label being like, oh, one of the Beatles didn't sell well. Drop him. They'd be like, no, it's one of the freaking Beatles, man. Like, promote it. Put them all over TV. Do what you gotta do. It's a Beatle. Like, it's mind blowing. It's just mind blowing. So, Ringo the Fourth, a 7 in my book, but I really do enjoy this album. Yeah, a couple of songs on here, give or take, but overall, a decent listening experience. Listening? A decent listening experience. Yes. So, again, my name is Giggens. This has been Album Reviews with Ringo the Fourth. His 4th rock album. 6 overall at that time. And, yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.